Ice, old Volvo found by the frozen lake 20 years forgotten. 15 strange facts, legends and mysteries about the 1988 Volvo 240 beside the frozen lake. It was early winter in northern Sweden when they found it. A 1988 Volvo 240, half buried in snow, parked beside a frozen lake where no road had led for decades. The thick ice reflected its silver body like a mirror from another era. No footprints, no tracks, just the car, quiet, sealed in time. That day, the locals began talking again, about the car that refused to die, about the man who vanished, and about the secrets frozen beneath the lake. Here are 15 strange facts, myths, and true stories that swirl around this legendary machine. Some confirmed, others whispered through the snow. 1. The engine that started itself. When rescuers first tried to tow the car out, one man swore that as soon as the battery cables touched, the engine turned over by itself, after 20 years in the cold. They thought it was a trick of static electricity, but the mechanic, old Lars Peterson, said the starter spun, like it had been waiting. 2. Built like a tank, literally. The Volvo 240's design came from engineers who once built armored reconnaissance vehicles for the Swedish military. The steel used in this car's frame was thicker than most sedans of its time. That's why, after 2 decades of snow, rust, and ice, the body was still intact, the paint dull, but the structure nearly perfect. 3. The mysterious license plate. The plate read, a G240FR. But FR didn't match any Swedish region. It matched a NATO code used in the 1980s by French intelligence vehicles. When the number was traced, no record appeared in Swedish or French databases. A local historian claimed the car had once been seen crossing from Finland with diplomatic plates, then disappeared. 4. The spy theory. During the late Cold War, Sweden was neutral, but full of spies. From Soviet trawlers on the coast to CIA watchers near Kiruna, the region was crawling with quiet wars. This particular Volvo, some say, was used by a double agent carrying microfilm hidden in the radio. Inside the dashboard, restorers later found a small compartment lined with lead foil, perfect for shielding film from X-ray scanners. 5. The radio that wouldn't turn off. When restorers connected power to test the electronics, the radio came alive on its own. Static first, then a man's voice reading numbers in Swedish. TBA, Ada, 0, 6. Experts identified it as the pattern of a number station, used by spies to transmit coded messages during the Cold War. The recording repeated for hours, until the battery drained again. 6. The last owner, missing since 1999. Records showed the car's last registered owner was Eric Sandstrom, a local geography teacher. He vanished in January 1999 after going ice fishing. His house was later found untouched, except for a single photograph missing from the wall. Eric standing next to the Volvo beside that same lake, in summer. 7. The unmelting ice. Every spring, the ice around the car melted more slowly than anywhere else on the lake. Locals joked the Volvo had its own cold aura. Scientists later discovered a small leak of refrigerant from the old AC system, mixed with methane from the lake bed, that may have created a localized freezing effect. Still, some say it was the car itself refusing to thaw. 8. The ghost light. Fishermen swore that at night, a dim yellow light sometimes glowed inside the car's cabin, like an old dome light. Even when the battery was gone. When the restoration team checked, the bulb was burned out decades ago. They replaced it, and that night, it lit up again on its own. 9. The song in the tape deck. Inside the tape player was a worn cassette labeled, Luz over Sjön, Swedish for, light over the lake. When played, it wasn't music. It was a woman's voice whispering coordinates, then humming what sounded like a lullaby. The coordinates pointed to a small island in the center of the frozen lake, an island now completely submerged. 10. The safety myth. Volvo 240s were legendary for safety. But this one, it had an extra steel plate welded under the driver's seat, and bulletproof glass in the front windows. Not factory modifications. Experts said only government or intelligence vehicles had that kind of armor in the late 1980s. Who was driving this one, and from what were they hiding? 11. The coin under the hood. When the hood was opened, mechanics found a Finnish 5-mark coin glued to the radiator bracket. That's an old Nordic superstition, meant to bring luck and safe travels. But the coin's date? 1917, the year Finland declared independence from Russia. Some believed it symbolized freedom, others, secret allegiance. 12. The strange odor. Inside the cabin was a faint scent, metallic, cold, yet strangely sweet. Forensic testing revealed traces of ethyl ether, a chemical once used by spies to preserve film negatives and erase fingerprints. Why would a schoolteacher carry that, unless he wasn't really just a teacher? 13. The hidden note. Beneath the driver's seat, a folded map was found. On the back, written in neat Swedish cursive, När isen smälter, följ ljuset. When the ice melts, follow the light. The handwriting matched Eric's, confirmed by police files. But to this day, no one knows what the light was. 14. The survivor's engine. After full restoration, new spark plugs, clean injectors, oil change, the team tried to start it again. It coughed once, then roared to life. The sound was deep and steady, as if it had been waiting for 2 decades to breathe again. When the exhaust cleared, the smell of old pine and burning snow filled the air. Someone whispered, "She remembers." 15. The museum night. Today, the frozen Volvo is displayed in a small museum near Umeå. Visitors say that on cold nights, condensation appears on the windows from the inside, as if someone were sitting there breathing. One janitor claimed he saw a man's silhouette behind the wheel, looking out toward the lake. When he opened the door, the seat was warm,